system like it always did before. Why isn't one and done enough? I don't fucking know. Logic flew out the door the day she walked back into my life. So has my infamous calculating caution, the biggest tool in my box I have to thank for the billions I've earned in a tough market over the past decade. They don't call me the bastard axe for nothing. I earned my moniker. I know when to swing, when to hack miracles, and when to cut and run. This is my world, driving hard bargains, accepting no excuses, chewing competitors up for lunch and shitting out any shark who crosses me, especially the clueless, entitled trust fund brats disarmed by my beard and the warm smile buried in it. They think I'm easier than dealing with another clean-shaven piranha. They're always wrong. She can't be my Waterloo. The bastard axe isn't brought down by girls almost half his age who chew bubblegum at their desks between calls involving my biggest deal ever and brush off multi-million-dollar contracts like they're no big deal. Until Bekah, I knew who I was, knew my many strengths and non-existent weaknesses. Now, oh, there's weakness all right. It begins and ends with spreading the legs I can't stop thinking about long enough to remember my own name. Tell me it's wrong. Tell me it's madness. Tell me what's made her off limits on more levels than I can count. Tell me I must be pathologically obsessed when I'm threatening everything I've ever built for one more sip of her Moscato lips, sweet and dangerous and rare. Tell me 100 times, burn it in my brain, brand it on my skin. I don't care. Tasting Bekah once wasn't nearly enough. I'll have her in my bed again very fucking soon, or else I'll lose what's left of my mind and it won't even matter. 3 weeks ago. Sweet freedom. I start smiling like a fool when I see the sign for Chandlersport. 10 more miles ahead and hundreds from New York City, plus my obligations. The private lodge I've spared no expense to build in this tiny Maine town feels like home, more than my condo in Manhattan ever will. I love New York for work, but play? I need quiet, trees, and lots of fresh Atlantic wind in my hair. The city, the exchange, and the office gave me billions, but they'll never give me the glory within a few more miles of lonely coast. Part of that glory is the challenge when I hunt down a woman for the night. The girls out here are wholesome. None of them have seen my face on the New York gossip rags or read my latest hedge fund interview. The billionaire shtick is just icing on the cake, and for much of the pussy I've poached, not very much. Sometimes they're local gals, others starry-eyed tourists. Their tastes in men aren't much different. They want charm, class, heart. They love being wooed by a man who knows how to wear a tie but doesn't run at the first sign of a bar brawl. They love a beard against their thighs and lumberjack strong hands to hold them open. I don't spend much time chopping firewood in the boonies, but I've cultivated the look. It's become my trademark in a suit, and completely naked when I'm in bed with my next lucky lady. This week there's extra cause for celebration and a well-deserved break. I've made progress toward a lucrative merger with a 50-year-old fixture on Wall Street. In another year or two, my 10 figures could be 11. And there's no better reward for the good things to come than a couple bourbons on the rocks while I decide which small-town honey will get every inch of me tonight. As soon as I'm checked in at my gated wooden palace up the long dirt road and dressed down into a fresh Oxford suit and jeans, I'm ready. I feed and water my boy Jack, who rubs his velvet blue head against my legs and gives me a garbled mew for good luck. You love when Daddy's home. Hell of a lot more exciting than chasing birds and squirrels, huh? I pat his head, and he squeaks again. The cat was a stray. He came to me on my doorstep here one snowy morning a couple winters ago. Didn't have the heart to turn him away. Since his fateful entrance, he's made my cabin his, at least when I'm in town, or he decides he wants an easy meal left by my maids and a warm place to sleep. Chow down so you have plenty of energy to look cute tonight when I get back with my girl, I tell him. They always appreciate that. It's true. Something about having pussy to stroke and smile at in front of my rustic fireplace gets the pussy I'm most interested in extra wet when it's time to bring them upstairs. They never realize until much later I've